I help with the support side of Alongside Ministries. I do the other side of ministry work. I help with the properties. I help with the coordination of donations that come from our many champions that help support not only ministry, but the Smart Sense thrift store. In addition to that, I help with the coordination and development of the website, as well as the newsletters and our database. Just finding volunteers are going to help us in a supporting role so that we can do ministry for our men and women. I came to know Jesus Christ in April of 2003 in a Maricopa County jail. I went to a prison fellowship Bible study, and I went to this Bible study not because I wanted to grow closer with Jesus Christ or with God, although in my spirit I knew that I was wrong with God. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that if I died, I was going to hell. My motivation for going to this Bible study was simply to go from one room to the other room, because I'd been in this room for so long. And I went to the Bible study and I listened to the volunteer speak about Jesus Christ. And it was good, and I went back. And I came back a second time, and I came back a third time. And it was that third time at the Bible study that I understood that what this volunteer was talking about Jesus Christ and what He'd done on the cross, and that He did it for me, sunk in. And I really understood that He was talking to me. So I accepted Jesus Christ that day into my heart. Now, I often say that there wasn't a voice from heaven and that there wasn't any thunder, but I knew at that moment that I had changed, that I was different. Now, to say that my life was roses after that would not be true. And as a matter of fact, I was released from county jail and went back into the world. I didn't know what it was to live my life for Christ. I didn't know what it was to be a Christian. I still didn't know who God was, although I knew what I professed that day to be true in my heart. And so I went about living my life. I was out for about 8 months, and I remember very vividly one evening in my grandmother's living room, crying out to the Lord, and I was on my knees, and I said, Lord, I know what I said that day in county jail. I meant every word of it. But Lord, look at me. Look at where I'm at. I need you. Why am I still living my life the way that I'm living it? I need you to make yourself real to me. Now, I didn't know what that meant, but I know that 2 weeks later, I was arrested. But this time it was different. I knew where I was going, and I knew what was ahead of me. But I remember very vividly that the Lord spoke to me. Now, it wasn't like I'm speaking to you now, and it wasn't a voice in my head, but I knew in my heart, a small, still voice that said, I heard you. I know what you asked for, and I know where you're going. But don't worry, because I'm going to go right with you. I'm never going to leave you, nor am I ever going to forsake you. And you know what? He hasn't. He's been with me every step of the way. Now, I didn't know that that meant that I'd go to prison for 5.5 years. I didn't know that that meant that I would be working with Alongside Ministries. All I knew was that that day, I asked God to make Himself real to me, and He did. And I thank Him every day.